Running. All right. Are you ready to meet Dave Lorenzo? I'm so excited. I saved him for later in the day because I knew that people would stick around and wait for him because he's that good. So this is get it done without doing it yourself. 5 simple systems to... Thank you, Luli. Appreciate that. 5 simple systems to increase income, double productivity, and still have dinner with your loved ones every night. So you'll learn how to systematize, replicate, automate, scale, all that good stuff we've been talking about over the last 2 days. And you'll design a way to implement that right away in at least one major focus area. David Lorenzo is a transformational leader who teaches business people to disrupt the status quo and take the lead in their market so they can make great money ethically, professionally, effectively, and still get home for dinner. He's written 2 books, Career Intensity, Business Strategy for Workplace Warriors and Entrepreneurs, which is over there, and Client Attraction Secrets for Lawyers. And like I said yesterday, he is one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life.
Oh my God.
Get ready for Dave Lorenzo. Give it up, please. Welcome him.
All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, here we go. 5 simple systems you can literally implement tomorrow. Now, obviously, I didn't get the memo from harmonica guy yesterday, right? I'm wearing all black. I'm from New York. I speak really, really fast. So I live here now. I've been down here for 7 years. But what we're going to do is we're going to focus on implementing 5 simple systems in your business right now today. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you these systems, and if you can't keep up with the notes, at the end of the presentation, I'll tell you how I can get the notes to you so you don't have to worry about it. Is that cool? All right, before we get started, I know you're all charged up with the cafecito, so what I figured we would do is we would get on our feet and have a little contest. Who likes free stuff? Come on, work and play. All right, you guys love free stuff, so get up on your feet. We're going to line you up just like Mitt Romney lines up his people, all right, before a big rally. Wait, come on, be fair. We're going to play a little game that everybody loves. Everybody loved this game when they were kids, all right? It's a game called Simon Says, okay? Everybody remember Simon Says? I don't need to cover the rules for anybody? All right, you're absolutely sure. Well, just to keep it fair, to keep it honest, folks, want to keep it honest, we've got the most reputable accounting and bookkeeping firm in South Florida here to judge this contest. Ladies and gentlemen, please put it together and welcome Elizabeth Manso from DM Accounting. All right. Now, here's how this is going to work. Don't look at me. Look at the screens, okay? Listen to me. Look at the screens. Elizabeth Manso is going to judge who's out and who's not. There are no do-overs. Ready? Simon says, do this. Simon says, do this. Simon says, do this. Do this. Okay. Sit down. Honor system. Elizabeth Manso will get you. Ready again. Here we go. Simon says, do this. Simon says, do this. Simon says, do this. Do this. We did it again. Come on. Simon didn't say. Honor system. Fabulous. You know what? While we're here, I didn't tell you what the fabulous prizes were. Guys, focus. All right. Third prize. Third prize, okay? Third prize, a mobile phone. Mobile phone, folks. Come on. Third prize is a mobile phone. Second prize, a refreshing break from reality. First prize is, and we have the car to go folks here, remember, okay? First prize, the most reliable transportation system in the world. All right, ready? Here we go again. Simon says, do this. Simon says, do this. Simon says, do this. Do this. Okay, now I've got your attention. More people are focused. This is it. This is the bonus round, okay? Here we go, where the prizes really get big. Simon says, do this. Simon says, do this. Simon says, do this. Do this. Okay, all right, everybody's there. Well, we have one winner and one winner only. We can't continue this game forever, so here's what we're going to do. Elizabeth Manso, most reputable accounting firm in South Florida, is going to pick 3 winners, the top 3 people, 3rd place, 2nd place, 1st place. Right now, you ready? All right, who gets 3rd prize, the mobile phone? Come on up here. Third prize. What's your name? Come on, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Time is short. So am I. Let's go. What's your name?
Kiara.
Okay, stand right here. Here is your mobile phone. All right, second prize. Who gets second prize, Elizabeth? Come, come, come. Run, run, run. Could you pick people, perhaps, who are outside that could come in, maybe further away? That would be better. No, all right, come on. Please stand here. You get a refreshing break from reality. And I have it right here. There you go. Enjoy. The king of beers. All right, first prize. Let's go. Ready? First prize. Excited? Who? Purple sweater. Come on up, everybody. First prize. My friends at Car2Go have been fabulous. Please stand here. My friends at Car2Go have been fabulous, and I've enjoyed sharing a table with them in the back the entire time. So I am very pleased and honored to give you the most reliable form of transportation in the world. It's an old shoe. All right, how about a nice round of applause for our winners? Thank you very much, ladies. You can exit over here. Very good job, very good job. You can have the beer. You can have the beer. You can have the shoe, too, if you want. I need that. That's my kids. Thank you. All right. Very good. Very, very good. Okay. So, those were the prizes, all right? Now, the real prize for all of you, in addition to the great strategies you're going to get from me, is that I am going to be absolutely happy and thrilled to give you a copy of my book, Career Intensity, Business Strategy for Workplace Warriors and Entrepreneurs, at the Car2Go table in the back. See me immediately after this presentation. I'll be happy to sign it for you, okay? We're all good with that? If you don't want to carry the book home, see me, give me your business card. I'll make sure I give you the electronic version. Okay, let's get into the meat of the presentation. If you get nothing else but one thing out of this presentation, I've done my job here today, okay? I'm teaching you 5 systems. If you take only one thing away, in fact, if you only got one thing out of this entire presentation, this entire day, it would be a success for you. So, what I'm going to ask you to do today is listen to me intently, okay? Maybe take some notes, and if you don't agree with or don't think you can implement something that I teach you today, throw it out. You only need to get one thing from me, just one, and your entire investment in this program was worthwhile. Do I have your agreement on that? Yeah. All right, so we're focusing on working and playing, work and play. Very good, okay. So, who the hell is this guy and why should I listen to him? Well, I don't want you to listen to me because I was an executive at a consulting company, an executive at Marriott. That's not the reason why I want you to listen to me. I don't want you to listen to me because I've written 2 books. That's not a good enough reason. I don't want you to listen to me because I worked with over 24 of the Fortune 500. Not good enough reason. All those reasons up there, that's my resume. It's all not good enough, okay? The reason I want you to listen to me is because of a day in my life when everything changed. And because I feel like we're so close now, because of the warm welcome you've given me. I'm going to tell you about that day, okay? How many of you have been to New York City? All right, great. Very nice. Well, this is the corner of 6th Avenue and 42nd Street. Well, 43rd Street. My office was on 47th and 6th, and I had made an appointment to go out to lunch with my wife. She wasn't my wife then, we were just dating. And I was on my way to there, and my assistant grabbed me literally at the elevator, and she said, Jeff Kindler is on the phone. Jeff Kindler is the CEO of Pfizer. It wasn't him. He never called me. It was his assistant. Jeff wants to see you right away. I had compiled a report for Pfizer, and I was due to deliver it in 2 weeks, but he was going to China, and he wanted a preview. And he wanted me over there in 20 minutes. So I called my wife. I said, yeah, it happened again. I'm not going to be able to make it. She expected it. She already had backup plans. And so she went to lunch, and I went running with a briefing book under my arm to Pfizer's headquarters. 5-minute walk at the most. Well, I'm crossing this corner right here, and there were probably, if I had to guess, 30 people in the crosswalk. 29 of them avoided the taxi cab. I did not. And all I could think of as I was lying on a gurney being wheeled down the hospital hallway was, why did I tell this guy I would meet him? And at that moment, I knew that my life had changed forever. That moment in time was a moment for me when I knew that life wasn't all about money. Some of you saw me up here on a panel yesterday, and I was a little bit aggressive about fighting with a couple of people to make sure that folks followed their passion. Let me tell you something, ladies. If you follow your passion, the money will follow. You can go out and find people to teach you how to make money at anything you want to do, from basket weaving to basketball. Well, you know, short people, not so much. But I will tell you, if you follow your passion, the money will follow. So what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to give you 5 systems that I share with my clients that help make it easier for them to make money, regardless of who they are and what they do. And I'll tell you that I work, initially when I started my own consulting business, I worked with some of the toughest people in the world to teach business strategy to, lawyers, all right? I started a company called Rainmaker Lawyer Consulting, and lawyers are notoriously tough because they're very, very smart, and they think that they know what they're doing, regardless of what they're doing, right? Some of you may be lawyers. Some of you may be married to lawyers. I can see people nodding your heads, so you understand, okay? Well, these 5 simple systems will help you regardless of your business, and they work just about everywhere. Who is Dave Lorenzo? Really, he's just a guy who had the balls to make a decision to make a great living and live a great life, to throw away or to give up what I had in a great career with a consulting company and move toward something that I believe is what will be a very well-lived life. All right, so let's get into the 5 systems. The lesson from Simon Says is that you have to focus on what's important. When you start your business, you're in survival mode, okay? Starting your business, you really are focused on accomplishing what you need, getting your needs met, right? First need is cash, obviously. You take a lot of clients probably that you shouldn't take. You do some things maybe that are outside of your comfort zone. You do some things that are outside of your skill set. You learn, you grow. As you move on in your business and you become more and more successful, you start to do things that you want to do. And you start to achieve some of the things that you've always wanted in your life. Maybe you buy a nicer car, maybe you move into a nicer home, maybe you finally make that decision to take a couple of weeks off. Then all of a sudden somebody comes along and they teach you about goals, and goals are fantastic because you start to write things down, right? And then they become reality, and your goals all of a sudden begin to manifest themselves, and that's fantastic. So then you don't know how you got by without setting goals in the past. Maybe you relapse a little bit, but you always come back to it because you know it works for you. Then finally, you develop a mission and a purpose. If you're fortunate enough to build a business that really is what you're passionate about, you have a mission, you have a purpose, and you're focused on achieving that mission every day of your life. You see that in Michelle. You see that in Jessica. They are here to help you become more successful. That's their mission, and regardless of what happens, that's what they're going to do. And you know what? The money comes because they're passionate about it. People come in droves. Look around the room. They come in droves to be here with them because it's their mission. All right. So the 5 systems: productivity system, client attraction system, relationship development system, value creation system, and cash flow management. We're going to really breeze through these. And I'm going to try not to drive the camera guys crazy by moving my arms outside the width of my body. I know they hate that. All right. The productivity system. How many of you have too many projects? Raise your hand. Okay, too many projects, too many things you're working on at once. Who's in control of how many projects you take on, how many things you work on? You are, okay. I'm not talking about client-based projects too. You got this to-do list, it's like 400 things long, right? What if you decided you just wanted to accomplish one thing today? Would you feel good when you accomplished it? Okay. What if you decided you wanted to accomplish 3 things today? Would you feel good when you accomplished them? All right, tomorrow, start with one thing. When you get that one thing done, you're on bonus time. Everything you do after that, you're successful. How about that? I just made you more successful, all right? Budget your time. How many of you have ever used a budget in your life, like a financial budget, a household budget, or you budgeted your money that you were going to spend for a project? All right, we budget our money often enough. We don't budget the time that we spend, and time is our most precious commodity. It's our most precious asset. We give it away for no reason. Ladies, start budgeting your time. You're investing your time when you invest in time with people. And during working hours, if you're working and you know you're going to be taking a meeting that is not going to result in business, it's not going to result in a new relationship, think about why you're investing that time. Scheduling in 50-minute intervals. I know people, remember I worked with lawyers, who the week before a project is due will go 10, 11, 12 hours on a single project, or 6 hours over 2 days on a single project. Anybody know about that? Anybody familiar with that? Okay. Doing that practice is the kind of practice that will absolutely lead to burnout. It's killer. Here's what you have to do. You have to look at your schedule over the long term and invest that time wisely. Budget that time wisely. Keeping an action log is a phenomenal way to make sure you're using your time as wisely as possible. Once an hour, if you think about it, legal pad on your desk or legal pad in your briefcase, pull it out, write down what you did that hour. Very, very easy to do. Over the course of a week, look back, see where you spent your time. Those actions are more telling than any time management system that has ever been invented. The reason, you will reflect on how you're spending your time and you will auto-correct. The brain is phenomenal. You are a phenomenal machine when it comes to that. Logging your actions is far more practical than keeping a time management system. Giving yourself credit for personal tasks, okay? Picking up the kids, dropping off the kids. The kids get sick, you take them to the doctor. You have to do things in your home to make your home environment better. Give yourself credit for things accomplished there. Here's the interesting thing about the time we invest, okay? You only have one life. I don't get to choose whether I want to be a father or not. I'm a father 24/7. I don't get to choose whether I want to be somebody's brother or not. I'm a brother 24/7. I'm a son 24/7. I'm a mentor to my clients. I'm a consultant to my clients 24/7. So if it's 10 o'clock at night, everybody's asleep, I'm not tired, I want to work, I work. If it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and my kid's in a play, I want to go see the play, I go see the play. I budget that time accordingly, but I have one life. I give myself credit for living that life holistically, all right? Very important takeaway when it comes to productivity, folks. You're not just productive when you're working in your business. You're productive when you're a wife, you're productive when you're a mom, you're productive when you're a sister. You are productive your entire life. When you manage your time, when you budget your time, you have to focus on holistic productivity management. You have just one life. All right. Now, and never answer a ringing telephone. This is my favorite. I'll cover this one for you very, very quickly. Answering a ringing phone is the kiss of death. There's nothing good comes from answering a ringing telephone, okay? The phone rings. I'm serious. This is not a joke. You got a phone in your pocket. The phone rings. It's a client. You don't have the file. You're going to, you look like a moron. I mean, don't answer a ringing phone. Let it go to voicemail. Let your assistant take it and have the person leave as detailed a message as possible so you can be prepared when you return the call. Oh, shocker. The call will be more productive. You'll get it over with faster. Never, ever answer a ringing phone again. Well, but what about my spouse? You know, and my spouse calls me too. And this is a matter of personal preference, okay? I would tell you that if you set expectations appropriately with your spouse, you should always take that call. All right. All right, now, client attraction systems. Okay. The 70% rule, if you can do something, or somebody else can do something to 70% of your capability, delegate it. Yeah. And that's, you know, we could get into, I'll have a conversation with you at the mastermind tables about that. That's a big one. It involves hiring the right people. I snuck it into that slide and I fooled myself. Okay, client attraction system. There's two different, you know, everybody talks about marketing. I got to get my marketing going. I got to do this. I got to do that. Marketing has two aspects to it, folks, okay? Client attraction and then relationship growth and development, okay? Now, and this, I'm talking about my world, professional services. You'll hear these things called all different kinds of things during the course of our discussions here and discussions outside. But for my purposes, for our purposes here in professional services, client attraction and then relationship growth and development, all right? Client attraction is something like this. You guys don't know me. This is our introduction. This is our first date, if you will. How am I doing? All right. Yeah. So, you're learning about me, I'm learning about you, I'm learning what you like, and I'm learning whether or not I can provide more of what you like, okay? You're also in the process of learning about your clients. When we do this, we're attracting new clients to us. Now, if I said to all of you, you're wonderful, I love you, let's go get married, 99.9% of you would say absolutely not, and the 0.1%, just not even going to go there. All right, so the point of that is We're attracting clients, and we have to then develop a relationship with them. We get all mixed up when it comes to marketing. We mix up client attraction with relationship development, and we think that everybody we meet should do business with us tomorrow. Now, there are some commodity-based businesses, some product-based businesses, some services where that makes absolutely perfect sense. You know, you need toilet paper, you go to the store, you buy toilet paper, no problem, I get it. But for most of us in this room, our businesses are relationship-based. And for the people whose businesses aren't relationship-based, think about referral partners. You have to develop relationships with people who could refer a business to you. The best quality business comes from referrals, by the way, either from past clients or from people who know you, like you, and trust you, right? I think we've heard that a couple of times here. So you have to develop relationships with people in order to get them, and deep relationships in order to get them to deliver business to you. So how do you attract some clients? Well, the elements of client attraction are simple. They're just like in real life. I mean, in business, it's just like in real life. Personality. You have to have some personality. Your business has to have some personality. Make them beg. We'll teach you how to do that. Branding, personality, branding, equal. Okay? Your business has to be interesting. All right? Nobody listens to a boring speaker. You've been listening to presentations for 2 days. All the presentations here were fantastic, but I'm sure you've gone to other events where the speaker wasn't as interesting as the speakers who are here. You have to be interesting. Your marketing, your attraction systems have to be interesting. You have to have sort of an expert status, okay? Even the most mundane and boring business, people are looking to work with an expert, okay? If you're looking for somebody to change the tires on your car, if you have a high-performance vehicle, remember the little symbols the guy drew the other day? You have a high-performance vehicle, right? You're not going to take it to Joe down the street to get the tires changed. You want to go to the guy who's going to tune it up and change the tires in a way that's consistent with the manual, okay? Expert status is critically important in any business. You all are experts in your business right now. Claim the mantle of expertise. If you don't toot your own horn, there is no music. Client attraction is not only about telling people how good you are. It's about listening to them and making sure that what you do meets their needs, and making sure what you do meets the things that they want. All right. Permission to communicate with people is critically important. If people know you, they like you, they trust you, they will give you permission to continue to communicate with them, and that's what relationship development is all about. So, when we start a relationship with people, we have to think about the message that we're delivering, the audience that we're delivering it to, and the delivery system we use, all right? MAD, MAD, message, audience, and delivery, all these things have to be in alignment. So, if I want to speak to a group of successful women, I come here, all right? If I wanted to speak to a group of successful men, this would not be a good audience for me. If I was selling barbershop supplies, this would be exactly the wrong audience. No matter how good my message is, my barbershop supplies would not sell in this room, okay? All of those three things, message, audience, and delivery system. I'm on stage now. This is delivery system. Television commercial, delivery system. Radio advertising, delivery system. Lisa Sparks, Constant Contact, delivery system, okay? All of those things have to be in alignment. You're not going to be able to sell through email marketing to somebody who never opens their email. If you're selling to older people, geriatrics, pretty good chance that 50% of them are not going to use their email on a regular basis. Some of the hip ones may. But there's a pretty good chance that some of them will not be using email. So align the message, the audience, and the delivery system. Relationship growth systems, okay? Deepening the lifetime value of your relationship. Again, quick mindset check for you, okay? Relationship growth. If you're in a business that markets directly to consumers, we're talking about the relationship between you and the consumer. If you're in a business where your referral sources are the most critical element, okay, and you're marketing to referral sources, we're talking about relationship growth of those referral source relationships. All right, everybody cool with that? All right, let's talk about that. Elements of a productive relationship. Trust, credibility, differentiation, and visibility. Start in the middle, visibility. People have to know who you are. One of the first things we ask people who are in a business that is heavily dependent upon relationships, which is just about everybody, okay, either referral sources or end users, is how many people do you get in front of? Who knows, and we heard this the other day, very good presentation, who knows you? Who knows what you know, okay? You have to find ways to get in front of people, and that's one of the key elements to relationship growth. Visibility, all right? Credibility. You can instantly claim the mantle of credibility with your expertise. You don't have to be in business for hundreds and hundreds of years. What you need to do is you need to be really focused on what's important to your clients, and you need to be the person who can provide what's important to your clients. All right? We're going to talk about that toward the end when it comes to value creation, but that is what credibility, but that's what comes down to with credibility. You have to be ethical. Obviously, you have to do everything legally appropriate, and you have to be able to get in front of people and articulate what you do as an expert. Trust. There's been a lot of talk about trust here, but trust comes not only from personal relationships, referral sources, but deep relationships that you've created over time. Thanks, I'm sweating like Nixon in a debate. Some people actually know who Nixon is. That's great. Okay. All right. Differentiation. What makes you different? What separates you from everybody else who does what you do? Okay? And there is something, ladies, for everyone. Something for everyone. Now, you think about it, you think to yourself, hey, my business is exactly the same as everybody else's. This is where niche marketing comes in. Jody Johnson was up here yesterday on the panel, and she mentioned niche marketing to a couple of people. This is where you can really differentiate yourself from everyone else who does what you do, okay? And when we talk about niche marketing, again, some people will say niche, they're fancy. I say niche, okay? Niche marketing is all about focusing in on a specific group or audience and providing for them better than anyone else can or better than anyone else does. I mean, if you went to some fancy graduate school, they would tell you look for the hole in the market, okay? I mean, I stumbled into it, and honestly, if you stumble into it, you get just as much credit as if you had planned it all along. I stumbled into it with lawyers. When I came out and started my own business, I thought I was going to work with everybody. I didn't think I needed a differentiator. I thought I was a good enough salesperson. I was just going to start getting in front of people. You know, I might as well have been out on the street with a sign. You know, we'll give advice for money. Not a good strategy, okay? I met a couple of lawyers, and they needed some help. I provided them with some guidance, and it worked. And I thought, hey, this feels pretty good because they want to stay with me. They want to pay me more. So I continued to work with them, and I expanded my reach, started creating offerings specifically for lawyers, 80% of which worked in every other business, but we don't need to tell them that. That was a niche marketing strategy, okay? It's a very good way to differentiate you if you sell what everybody else sells. There are over 400,000 independent consultants in the United States today. 400,000, okay? That's me. I'm an independent consultant. I had a niche. I focused on lawyers. I was able to expand it, and it's done okay. It hasn't been bad. It's better than a sharp stab in the eye, as they say. All right, communication. Lisa Sparks, Constant Contact. I cannot recommend them more highly, okay? Constant Contact is one of the best ways to follow up with people today, and it's really, really inexpensive. Sorry, Lisa. It's really, really inexpensive, okay? Email marketing is terrific. Here's how we have our clients use it, okay? One of the elements of trust is frequency of communication. Think about it. The more often you see somebody, one of two things either happens. Either you're really going to start to hate them, or they're really going to become more attractive to you in a, call it a business way, okay? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure all of you have experienced somewhere along the way, there was just this one guy who kept showing up. He was always there, and at first you weren't attracted to him, then all of a sudden you didn't hate him anymore, and then next thing you know, he was the guy who was always there, so maybe you went out with him once, and, well, my wife married one of those guys, all right? So here's what I will tell you, okay? Frequency of communication is critically important. That's why the one tip that I will give you in this area, Constant Contact is phenomenal. What we do in our business, what we have our clients do, is we have them do weekly email newsletters. So our weekly email newsletter goes out every Wednesday at noon. I write it in advance, I program it, it goes out, okay? We have our clients use Constant Contact, and again, the bulk of my clients are lawyers, so guess what? They hate to write their own content, so there are people who will write for you. You can either see Lisa about that or Layla Chang Ripich, who was here the other day, does a ton of work for my clients. She's really good at it. She can get Constant Contact set up for you, get it going for you, and it couldn't be any more cost effective because what you're focused on is return on investment, okay? When it comes to marketing, you're always focusing on return on investment. You know, people will talk to you about, I don't know, penetration rates. They'll talk to you about reach. They'll talk to you about other things. If you invest $1 and you get a client that's worth $10, was that a good investment? Yes or no? Yeah. All right. If you invested $100 and you got a client that was worth $101, was that a good investment? Yes. Yes. And in some businesses, listen to this, okay? And don't worry about the math now. In some businesses, if you invest $100 and you get a client that's worth $100, that's still a good investment. You know why? Because you will develop lifetime value, okay? Lifetime value in the relationship, okay? Works for referral sources too. However, getting back to our conversation about Constant Contact, email marketing, very low investment, very high rate of return, but it's not a magic pill, okay? It's not a magic bean. You're not going to plant it in the backyard. There'll be a beanstalk tomorrow. You climb up, peel the money down, and go to work. It doesn't work like that, okay? What it is it's a way to develop a relationship over time, okay? There is no magic pill. There is no magic bean. There's no beanstalk. Forget it. Doesn't exist. You're in this for the long haul. Sorry. All right. I'm a motivational speaker, by the way. No. Value creation system. All right, let's talk about value for a minute. What are the elements of value? Pain relief. Dr. Escoto's here. She's a dentist. People come to her in pain. We were having a conversation outside. She said, no problem. I don't have any problem discussing fees with them. They invest whatever they have to invest. They just want to be free of the pain. Well, folks, everybody's got pain, okay? Regardless of the business you're in. You're in the business of relieving pain. You're a solopreneur. You're an entrepreneur. You solve problems for money. That's what you do, okay? So you have a conversation with a person. They help you understand what their issues are. You help them take away their pain. They pay you, all right? The elements involved in value creation are the pain that people are feeling, all right? The speed of the relief you can provide. You solve my pain today, it's worth a lot more than if you solve my pain tomorrow, okay? Relieve my pain tomorrow. And the risk associated with not getting the problem solved. Think about that for a minute, okay? Pain relief, speed of that relief, risk associated with not solving the problem. If you really want to go for the big bucks, solve big problems quickly. That could be a huge problem if you don't solve it today. Whoever figures out that whole physical cliff thing, big bucks right there, okay? Now, how does this apply to your business? Let's say you sell widgets on the street corner, okay? And your widget is the same as everybody else's widget. Well, you could be the only person talking about not the widget sale, but the pain relief. Amtrak. What does Amtrak sell? Train reservations, somebody said? No, they don't sell that. Transportation. Get home for the holidays, even better. I like that even better. See your kids, tuck them in at night. Be home from, like in the Northeast Corridor, be home from Washington in 2 hours and 59 minutes. Tuck your kids in bed, no airport lines, no hassle, no weather delays. Amtrak is selling getting home. Amtrak is selling getting you to your relationships that matter the most. All of you are in a business where you can take away pain quickly and you can help minimize or mitigate risk. You need to think of the conversations you have with your clients in that way. When you talk to people in that way, you go from being a salesperson to being a consultant to being a trusted advisor to being someone they will not make a move without. Think about the power in that for your business. You don't need thousands of clients. You need a handful of clients who trust you that much. Your marketing, your relationship growth system, the elements of the value that you provide are all about how you take away that pain for them, how you help them become more successful. And your likelihood of success. So if you're the person who solves problems and is known for solving problems, you're going to be hired more often. You're more valuable to people than somebody who just started solving problems. Now, I don't want you to think about that as a barrier to entry, okay? If you're in a business you've never been in before, I don't want you to think about that as a barrier to entry, okay? You can do just as good a job as somebody who's been doing it for 20 or 30 years. You can provide differentiation in ways that people have long forgotten about. Communicating your value. You got a pain in your stomach. This actually just happened to us last week. We have an 11-year-old at home. She had a pain in her stomach, okay? And it was the Monday after Halloween. It was the day report cards came out. Pain in the stomach. What do you think? You know, get dressed, wash your face, go to school, the pain will go away. Yeah, pain didn't go away. She couldn't move. She was all doubled over. So we drove to school. I turned around, drove her back home. She sat on the couch while I worked. The pain gradually got worse. We took her to the doctor. What did the doctor do? Did an exam, right? Doctor did an exam. They did an ultrasound. Didn't think it was anything really to be alarmed about. Maybe she ate something that was bad. Took her back home. 7 o'clock that night, we were up at Joe DiMaggio. It's appendicitis, okay? The doctor we took her to, the doctor that all our kids go to, great guy, what did he do? He treated the symptom. He didn't treat the disease. So often, a client will come to you with a problem, and we don't go deep enough, or the solutions we develop for our clients don't go deep enough, okay? Don't treat the symptom, treat the disease. It requires taking time to really know and understand your target market to get your message right. Want versus need. Everybody needs tires, but people want tires that are going to be on their car and keep their families safe while they drive around. Really important point. There is more money and more value in selling things to people that they want than selling things to people that they need. Think about it. People need to stop smoking. People need, I shouldn't touch that topic. I was going to say people need not to wave guns around. I keep forgetting I'm in Florida, right? No, there's 2 or 3 people packing, okay. All right, people need things, and you have to convince them that they want the things that they need. And that's a huge hurdle to overcome when it comes to marketing. So it's much easier to go out and find people who already want what they need. Think about it. Okay? If you know there are a dozen people out there who want XYZ from you, from your product, why are you out there trying to preach to the converted and convert those people over? Much easier to find people who already want what you have to offer. And you say to yourself, well, how do I do that? Well, first of all, look for people who are already buying what you're selling from somebody else. Much easier to take that business than it is to go find people who don't know that they need, or who don't know that they want what you need. What they need, right? Okay. Second clue is to look for groups of people who gather together and have common problems, okay? You all are here today looking for business advice, looking for guidance in your business, okay? Not necessarily a problem, but you have that want, all right? It's a great place to be if you're somebody who can help people solve business problems. In your business, there are groups of people like this right now. Trade journals are a huge clue. Start writing articles in trade journals where people gather who have problems that you can solve for them, all right? Appear at conventions where there are people who gather who have issues that you can solve. Go to where the want is and stop trying to convert people from need to want. Finally, fear of loss versus the desire to succeed. If you ever see an interview with a sports person who wins, right? They're happy. They're very happy. They're more, have you ever seen an interview with somebody who feels more, seems more relieved than they are happy? You know, the true athletes. I used to be managing partner of the Gallup organization. You know the Gallup poll? In fact, the speaker this morning cited some of our data, which was great data. The key finding from the Gallup organization in this area, we did a study for the National Basketball Association when I was there. Key finding was the people who won consistently didn't win because they had a desire to win. They won because they had a fear of losing, okay? So if you're in a business where people have a unique or a very strong fear, okay, of something happening, and you can help them either remove that fear, mitigate that fear, prevent that fear from happening, or if you can help them take that fear away, that is valuable. That's value creation. The final element is attaching dollars to the emotion, okay? All purchases are made emotionally first and justified rationally, I don't care what you're selling. You know, if this were not true, ladies, they would not sell 4-ply toilet paper. Everybody be using newspaper or that stuff in truck stops, you know. People make decisions emotionally first, and they justify it rationally. The private jet industry exists specifically for this purpose. There is no rational reason why people need to fly on private jets, but a lot of people do. Why? They like the speed of the travel. They like the comfort. They like not having to deal with the hassles, okay? Whatever your product, whatever your service, think about the emotional elements first, provide the emotional elements, and then attach logic and rationality to that. Okay, final system, cash flow system. Importance of cash flow. No money, no business. Enough said? All right. The key to cash flow is conditioning the client. Okay, so many of us have conformed to industry practices. We feel like we operate under these rules because they were imposed upon us. Okay? Who owns your business? You do. You can do whatever you want with your business. Now, if you want to please some clients, you may want to conform to certain expectations. However, how did the clients get the expectations in the first place? Somebody along the way shared the expectations with them, okay? If you do a good enough job with the other elements, there's a very good chance that people will operate under the guidelines you set forth. Now, I'm not telling you to be a jerk about this. What I'm telling you to do is I'm telling you to set up the rules that work for your business, particularly as it relates to cash flow, right? Getting paid in advance. Really quick story, because I only have a couple minutes left. I was a person who did hotel rehabs. I used to take really crappy hotels and convert them to Marriott products, and I worked directly for hotel owners. One day I'm sitting in the lobby of a hotel with a hotel owner that we're converting, and he says to me, we're reviewing the accounts receivable, he says, "This is crazy, get rid of it." So I took the paper and I threw it away. And he said, no, get rid of accounts receivable. And I looked at him, get rid of accounts receivable? What do you want me to do? He's like, "We don't bill people anymore. They pay up front, they stay in the hotel, they check out, they leave." I said, why didn't I think of that? And I said to him, we're going to lose a lot of business. He said, we're going to lose a lot of the wrong kind of business. He said, what happens is people pay us in advance, then we hold the money, and then we pay the employees 2 weeks later. He's like, all that time, that money's working for us. He's like, it's not working for somebody else. He said to me, Dave, rich people get paid in advance, poor people get paid after the work's done. So now I charge everybody in advance. And I will tell you that you can do that too. Now here's the important thing, folks. The value you provide for your clients has to far exceed the guidelines and the rules you put in place, okay? Really important element. You have to provide so much value that they'll conform to your rules. That is a critically important element in this entire system, okay? Work done in advance is free. You should never ever count on getting paid down the road. Shouldn't. Accounts receivable is a recipe for disaster. You're lucky if you ever get paid. I highly recommend, and you know, some of you are thinking right now, well, in my industry, I can't do that, blah, 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 blah. I don't have enough time to convince you, so that's the one thing that you throw out, everything else you keep, okay? But I'm telling you it works. All right, never negotiate fee, reduce value. This is so important, all right? You have this client, he's sitting across from you, you've done the dog and pony show, he wants to work with you. You know he wants to work with you. He says he wants to work with you, but he can only afford X and you want to charge Y. And you're still worth Y, all right? So what I would do is I would go through that proposal and start crossing things off. I can do it for that price, but I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. And obviously, you didn't really fully understand the value that I was providing, so now this value is comparable to what you want to pay. Never negotiate fee, always reduce value. The minute that you negotiate a fee, somebody says, I can do it, you charge $10, I can only pay $5, and you agree to do the same work for less money, you've sent a signal. You've sent the signal to him, but more importantly, you've sent the signal to yourself that your work is not worth 10 anymore, it's only worth 5. And every time you see that client, every time they come into your shop, every time they sit across the desk from you, you're going to hate them. In the back of your mind, you're going to say, that son of a bitch, I should be working for $10 and working for 5. And you know what? You're not going to do your best work. I mean, it's just human nature. It's just human nature. All right? So here's your call to action now. Your call to action right now. If you want a copy of my book, we still have some left at the car-to-go table. I will trade you talk about value, a business card for a book. We're on the honor system. Elizabeth Manso's still here, but we're on the honor system. So if you want a book, I just want a business card. You will go on my mailing list. You'll see how email marketing done right is done. And what I will tell you today, well, actually, I'm going to ask you something. I'm not telling you anything. I'm going to ask you this. What will it take for you to make today the day everything changed? Today doesn't have to be a day you got hit by a cab. Today is the day that everything could change for you if you just take one thing that we've talked about during our time together and implement it in your business. And I thank you very much. It's been an honor speaking to you. Thank you. Did you get a book?